Star offensive players get the most attention during the lead up to the NFL draft and often shoot up the mock rankings, but don't let that distract you from the talent on the other side of the ball. Some of these guys are going to go higher than expected, and a top candidate is Nate Wiggins. His numbers don't jump off the board, but he did have a quality season. He had a solid defensive grade and a fairly low reception percentage. His pass rating allowed was in the top 25, as he only allowed 1 touchdown compared to 2 interceptions. What makes Wiggins promising, though, is his tape. Every defense in the NFL is looking for corners who are effective in press coverage, can close on the ball quickly, and corners who are competitive and take pride in forcing incompletions. Wiggins fits that mold. Off the bat, he is calculated and smooth. He trusts his technique and has fluid hips on top of efficient footwork. He can win at the line, anticipate breaks, and cover deep with his speed. He doesn't have any glaring weaknesses, which allows him to be confident on the field. 1st and 10 here versus UNC. The Tar Heels line up their receivers in tight. This is a common formation for a play-action deep shot. Instead, UNC is going to run a quick pass with Devontae Walker running an out route. Pre-snap though, even with safety help, Nate is forced to respect the speed of Walker. Wiggins uses a quick back pedal and outside leverage to gain an advantage early on. He then turns his hips upfield before diagnosing the break, flipping his hips back outside and beating the receiver to the sideline. He was able to read the receiver on the fly here, and he has the athletic ability to turn those split-second reads into actions. He has excellent reactive athleticism. He wins in tight spots due to his change of direction ability. If the receiver runs a go and there's no break to anticipate, Wiggins can turn and run down the field with basically anybody. His 4.28 speed shows up on tape. Overall, his game doesn't involve a lot of risk because he trusts his eyes and technique and plays through his opponent. This style perpetuates consistency and is the archetype for a shutdown corner. Let's dive into what he does at the line of scrimmage. He's great in this area. He wins in a variety of ways and alters his approach throughout a game. If he notices that a receiver expects a free release and puts his head down, he'll attack with his hands. Wiggins isn't the strongest player, but he times his hands well and can be disruptive with his physicality. He can also use his feet to cut off the receiver. Nate doesn't bite early and stays square until the receiver declares. His eye discipline makes it difficult for receivers to shake him. On top of his ability to win with finesse, he's a gritty and tough player, and that's what teams like from a cornerback prospect. When he lines up against the other team's number 1, he takes pride in winning that matchup and doesn't back down from any receiver. Down the field, he is also nifty with the way he uses his hands. He'll throw in slight jabs and grabs to keep his receiver out of position. This displays his competitiveness and polish in coverage. His true secret weapon is his closing burst. His timing and acceleration to jump passes is excellent. He can stay within striking distance with his coverage, but when the ball is in the air, Wiggins is ultra competitive and has play-changing twitch. Whether it's getting his arm in to force an incompletion or laying the boom on a receiver, he can do it all. He can bring an attitude to a defense's back end. Overall, Nate Wiggins is a great cover corner. He has very good athleticism and solid size. His movement is quick and calculated, and he plays through his opponent. At the line, he wins with a variety of approaches. He uses his leverage and has impressive reactive athleticism to counter his receiver's moves. He cuts off releases well and can win with his hands when his opponent's not expecting it. He diagnoses breaks well and has top-level closing burst. He's a competitor who takes pride in forcing incompletions and laying hits. On the other hand, he doesn't have great length and plays at under 175 pounds. Does his frame hold up? He's also a liability in the run game and had a high missed tackle percentage in college. Teams will force him to play physical and dirty. Looking at the draft, I think Wiggins should go at some point later in the first round, as he provides some of the best coverage upside in this class. So those are my thoughts on Nate Wiggins. Let me know what you think about him in the comments and who you want to see in the next video. That's all from me, and I'm out.